Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video I am working on my backpacking gear loadout for an upcoming trip. This to me is kind of end of summer, maybe call it early fallish, but it's still pretty nice outside. I mean, I'm not talking about terrible weather, but in that regard I am trying to get lighter and lighter with my kit, and in that vein I am looking for ways to continually cut down on bulk and save some pounds. And a company reached out to me recently to see if I would be interested in trying out one of their products, and it was very intriguing. And the company I am talking about is Viter Energy. This company actually produces these very small energy mints. They are a combination of kind of caffeine and other supplements to give you a little bit of an energy boost. And in that regard, I thought this may be the perfect product for the backpacking application. Now I have a whole bunch to talk to you about, so do me a favor. Stay tuned. Now before I get too far, I'd like to say thank you very much to the people at Viter Energy who have provided these products for review. Now as I mentioned, I thought this would be a great product for the backpacking application. So as I go through what it takes for me to prepare a cup of coffee, generally I have my cup, I have my stove, I need my fuel, I bring my pot. Now, could I boil my water directly into this cup? Yeah, sure, but you know, usually I want to drink more than this. I'm usually with somebody else who also wants to have a cup of coffee with me, so if I'm going to go as far as to bring my stove, pretty much at that point, I'm committed to, at minimum, my cup with my stove, the fuel, and my pot. And when you look at this all together, it is somewhat bulky. Now, I'm not going to say it's completely crazy, and I have titanium products, and for what it is, it's reasonably light. However, what if all I had to carry was this? Now, let's be realistic. There is something about actually physically drinking a cup of coffee, but that is the act of drinking a cup of coffee. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a coffee fanatic. I absolutely require drinking coffee. I drink it way too much, and I have way too much throughout the day. But that is just me, and I'm sure there's a ton of you out there just like that. So with that being the case, wouldn't it be nice if you could actually bring a very small, lightweight product with you? Something that could actually take the edge off, and if you really didn't want to carry all this, or didn't want the hassle, or maybe you just don't have the ability to make yourself a good cup of coffee, this is something that, in my opinion, could totally take off that edge. These Viter Energy mints have 40 milligrams of caffeine in each mint, 2 mints making up approximately 1 cup of coffee. They contain B vitamins, and they are sugar-free, and currently they come in 5 flavors. These Viter Energy mints are made in a state-of-the-art GMP and FDA compliant facility in Canada. So these do come in 5 flavors. Here you'll see wintergreen, spearmint, cinnamon, peppermint, and chocolate mint. So a little bit of variety here to choose from if you have maybe a preference one way or another. Certainly you do have the ability to kind of choose the flavor that really resonates the most with you. Now, I did start a little bit of an experiment today to see how these mints would be for me in terms of replacing my cup of coffee. So hang with me real quick while we go through a little bit of an experiment. So today started like most other days, with me making my coffee the way that I always do. The main difference being today, I'm not going to drink it, I'm just going to measure it. So taking the coffee and pouring it out of the container into a measuring cup, you'll see here that after removing the ice, I have approximately 3 1/4 cups of coffee. Now I decided that today, instead of having my usual coffee, I would rely on the mints alone for my kind of caffeine. I definitely need coffee. I drink it every day. I drink it almost all day, every day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dose them out throughout the day, kind of like I would drinking my coffee, just to see if it has the equivalent effect to the coffee. Now, so I've decided here, I have all the different flavors, but I think for today, I'm pretty much just going to focus on the wintergreen. To me, it's pretty much a sort of a neutral mint, something that I generally like. Kind of curious how this is going to taste, so I'm going to open these up and give them a try. Now, my first observation is that they do actually smell quite minty, which is obviously a good sign. Taking these out here. They are not terribly large. I don't know, size of a typical breath mint. Every 2 mint is the equivalent of a cup of coffee, and so I'm not going to slug down a cup right away. I'm kind of going to sip it out slowly. So I think I'm just going to start with one, and taste is actually quite good. Not quite as pungent as a typical mint, and it has a little bit of sort of an aftertaste, but it's not bad. It's definitely not as pungent as a typical mint. Has a just a slight bitter taste to it, but generally not bad at all. And for something that's a supplement, it's not going to be perfectly sweet. And actually, when you get in here and you actually look at the sugars, there's no real sugars in here. So in terms of the sweetness, it's not going to be made up with sugar. So that's actually a good thing. And for me and the way I eat now, I try not to have too much in the way of carbohydrates and too much in the way of sugars. So that definitely works well for me. But that's the first mint. I'm going to kind of dissolve this here for a little bit and continue to gain an understanding of the flavor. It hasn't changed much, so I feel as though the flavor is consistent through the mint. And so at this point, that's my first one. I'm going to have at least 4 more today, kind of evenly throughout my workday, and that's where I'm going to get my caffeine fix and hopefully a little burst of energy. Hey Benny, what's my breath smell like?
Mint.
Smells minty.
Mint.
Is it good? Is it good minty? Is it delicious minty? So at this point, I have enjoyed a bunch of these mints. In fact, it was my only caffeine intake today. And all things considered, I have to say I did pretty well. I did have a very late afternoon sort of slump, but that's just because it was the end of my workday. I was tired anyway, and at that point I kind of stopped taking the mints. So anyway, where there are 20 of these in here, basically at this point, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. I gave 2 away to try, so that was 15. So I took my 5 mints today in terms of actually replacing my coffee intake. And I have to say, it was quite good. I felt good all day. I didn't have any sort of call it caffeine headache or anything like that. Had absolutely no coffee really until this evening. So for me, this definitely worked. So I'm pretty impressed. So real quick, if we look here, I have my actual cooking gear that we looked at. So putting this all on the scale and weighing it up. Here I have 1 pound, 5.7 ounces, and that is also keeping in mind the fact that I have neither my water nor the actual coffee needed to make the coffee. So even though it says 1 pound, 5.7 ounces, the reality is there is also significant weight added in order for me to even make the coffee. So now with a pack of the Viter Energy mints, I'm going to put this on the scale. And here we have 1.3 ounces. Now keeping in mind that there are 20 mints in here. So in essence, if it is 2 mints per cup of coffee, I have the equivalent of 10 cups of coffee here. Now typically on a backpacking trip, I'll probably drink anywhere between 4 and 6 cups, and then sharing it with somebody else, maybe another, 2 to 4 cups. So, I mean, 10 cups of coffee is certainly an adequate amount in terms of the need for one backpacking trip for me, at least if it's just going to be 1 or 2 night trip. So, overall, you can see that there is a very significant, not only size, but weight savings if you are capable of getting past sort of the physical aspect of actually sipping the coffee, and you just need yourself a little caffeine boost to prevent yourself from getting caffeine headache. All right, so basically what these are is like it's a caffeine mint, but it also has some supplements. But the biggest thing is 2 mints is the equivalent of a cup of coffee. So one mint is a half a cup of coffee. So 2 mints would be like 1 cup of coffee.
So you can try one.
I'll have 2. I'll have 2.
They say don't. They say don't exceed 5 in one setting.
Oh, okay. I'll take one. Okay.
Popped open there.
Cinnamon, spearmint flavor.
Chocolate mint.
Cinnamon? Chocolate mint. Chocolate mint? That sounds awesome, actually.
You want to try them?
Yeah.
Cool.
I want to try the chocolate mint. Spearmint, peppermint, cinnamon.
I kind of think I'm vibing with the chocolate.
Can somebody help me open this?
Oh yeah, the chocolate.
Can somebody help me open this? What's the red one?
Oh,
That's cinnamon. All right. So what flavors do you have? Which one did you? Which one did you?
Coffee. This is chocolate.
Chocolate mint. Now, do me a favor. Before you eat it, take a quick sniff. What's it smell like?
Chocolate. Like chocolate mint.
Is it a good flavor?
It actually smells really good. It does smell
Nice.
really good. Is it? Oh, this one's not open.
It just smells like
okay.
It's a really strong mint.
Yep.
Get in here.
May I open it?
What is it?
Oh yeah.
It just smells like spearmint gum. Like that actually smells so good.
Nice.
Ooh,
Wait,
I love that.
This is like
That-
1 cup.
That's a half. So every 2 mints is 1 cup of coffee. What do you think about? Does it smells like a normal mint? Yeah. Cool.
Smell the flavor.
Okay. Oh, I just.
So I'm just curious about what you think about the taste. Those are the wintergreen.
It's really good.
Not bad, right?
Yeah, not bad at all.
They're so good. I actually love them.
I really like the chocolate. Wow. Wait, they're actually good.
That's actually really good. I actually really like it.
I
Nice.
like it a lot.
What's your initial impression about how strong they are?
It's about right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of it. It's like chocolate.
It's so
yeah,
good.
Altoids.
That's what we said. An Altoid.
Altoid.
Do you think it's as strong as an Altoid?
Less than
Less. Okay, but yeah.
No, it's just milder.
Not as strong, but more flavorful.
It's like a stronger Tic Tac.
I was gonna say like a Tic Tac.
I mean, it's actually like it has like that cough drop sensation. Like it clears out. Like
I actually love it.
I actually really like it.
Yeah, it dissolves nice. It's like I don't know.
We're thinking actually we chewed it a little bit. It reminded us of like a clean toothpaste.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's thicker.
Yep.
I think that would be sold at like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods.
Nice. Now the other thing that I was thinking is for a backpacker, where to make a cup of coffee, you need like the cup, you need the gas, you need the burner, right? But then you also have to have the water. Takes a lot of space and at the same time, a bunch of weight. My idea was, this would actually be able to replace that. So if you're someone with a caffeine dependency and you'd get headaches.
Wise too and everything, yeah.
It's
Pack and everything.
Like, I don't know, like we usually have like either powdered coffee or we literally bring like an energy drink or something when it's a single overnight.
nice.
And like, just like
Same type of thing.
quarter of the weight. would
Right.
be-
It's also way quicker.
Quicker, right? Yeah, you don't have to prepare something.
Like a backup.
through hikes and stuff, like we spent a lot of time making coffee.
Nice. Yep. Thing, right?
Yeah. Let me give it a
Nice. So you like pretty good? Would you consider carrying those instead of bringing all the stuff to make coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Save.
That energy boost.
I'm someone who like I don't drink coffee. I don't like the taste, so like that would be perfect.
Nice. All right, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, all right, guys, there you have it. A real quick look at the brand Viter Energy. This project to me was very fun for a number of reasons. First and foremost, I very much enjoy this product. I have used these a number of times beyond what you saw in the video just to give me a little burst of energy, and I can tell you these definitely work. I like the way they taste, each and every flavor. The only one I haven't tried yet is peppermint, but the rest have been great. And the way everybody else reacted. It was very fun to see the way people kind of lit up when they tried these, when they smelled them, their overall impression of the product. Everybody does seem to like these, and to me, that is definitely a plus. I mean, that's a great thing to go into a project, have some level of an expectation, and then exceed that expectation. So, Viter Energy, you have done a wonderful job. So, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.